co-host right here, Sports Plug Russ. What is up, my dude? How you been, bro? What's good?
Yeah, we already know what it is. We just had to let them know, man. You know, sometimes the sushi go wrong, but the sports never die. So we gonna hit them with the Hesi. So they don't never know which way we going.
Hey, well, it's good to be back up in here, man. We had a couple weeks off, but you know what, man? Shit, let the show go on, baby. Let it go on.
Know. Before we get started, though, I know you're going to give them the rundown. You know what I'm saying? We got to let the people know if you're in the chats. You know what I'm saying? Let us know we're coming through loud and clear for you. And thank you for being in the chats. Hit that bell, subscribe, that like, and get ready for the ride because the Hesi podcast is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, we already got some folks up in here, man. Everybody saying, let go.
You know what I'm saying? Let go.
On tonight's show, we're gonna be talking about the Draymond chokehold. You know, we're gonna get into that.
Boy.
We're gonna talk about James Harden and the Clippers. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna dive into some college football. We're gonna do some talk about some Michigan and what's going on there, who our favorite for the Heisman is. And then we got either or, and then we'll follow it up with some NFL. You know how we do it around here. But without further say or do, man, let's jump into this thing, bro. Here we go.
Let's get it.
All right. So first of all, man, let me tell you about my weekend, dog. I was in Vegas.
You was in Vegas.
I was in Vegas, dog. I had a good time. I had a good time.
Before you say too much, what happens in Vegas?
Yeah, I'll tell you offline what I was really there for.
Hey.
But I still got it in. But to tell you, I said all that to tell you, I'm tired, bro. Like, you know, I was there since Saturday, got back last night, and I'm tired. I ain't gonna cap. I'm tired, man. But
hey,
you know, you still got to go to work. So I did the whole work thing, got home with about maybe a little under an hour before we had to jump on here. But I'm good to go, man. I'm good to go.
You want to know what? I can understand. If any of y'all that haven't been to Vegas yet, I went to Vegas once for 6 days, and I've been tired for 7 years, if you know what I mean. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Hey, and I hope you have a great time. If you do go to Vegas, have a great time. Just, you know what I'm saying, be very, very safe.
Oh, yeah. Safety's key, man.
Very, very key. So, you want me to go ahead and hop this off with this out of bounds? Because you know it's quick. It's ready to go.
Go fire it off. Go ahead.
So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. Out of bounds, you know, and that's for those who don't know, for those that are new to the program and how we get to doing things, the out of bounds is basically I skim the internet with our producer who's not here at the moment. His name is Boogie. He has some obligations and we'll be working him in. But we skim the internet. We try to find, some quirky stories or some things that just make you say, why would you do that? And this week's out of bounds is, man, you heard about what happened to Colorado when they went to UCLA. You heard what happened. You heard what happened.
Yeah,
you heard what happened to the jury.
Uh-huh.
You know what happened to the boys is back. The boys is back. Holla at shotgun real quick. The boys is back. You know, I think, you know, man, it took a little bit of time, but you know what I'm saying? We ain't going nowhere. We're going to be here. We like the Undertaker. Boom. But speaking of which, boys are going to be back. The boys that was recruited may not be back in that locker room. Actually, Sterling, thinking the way football goes, they may be some stars, but it was known that the recruits for the UCLA game stole the Colorado players' jewelry. So, Sterling, I categorize this under INS. That's ignorant shit. The N is for ninja. What you thinking about? What you think about what happened, man?
Ninja's gone ninja, right?
Ninja's gone ninja.
Hey, but here's the thing though, and I'm gonna take the ninja side for just a second. I mean, look, I get you getting the bag, and you flossing. You know, you got all kinds of ice. Leave that shit at home, bro. Just leave it at home. You don't need it. You're going to play a football game, and then you're going home. You're not going to no club. You're not going out. You're going home. So you asking for it. You know, y'all they be going on the field. Some of them be wearing it on the field as they play. Some little chains, little Cubans, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. But no, man, leave that shit at home. Leave it at home, bro.
Till you get Crabtree, then it's a problem.
Yeah, your chains
But
just taken off your neck during game.
No, I agree with that part of it somewhat. Well, actually, I agree with that part of it. Like, two things can be true at once. Bruh, you don't need all that jewelry at the game. Hey, man, Ninja quit stealing. Like, why is you have to steal it? And this is going to tie into the great segue to on this day in sports. And if you want me to go ahead and segue it in, I guess UCLA motherfuckers just steal. Because on this day in sports in the year 2017, players were suspended after admitting shoplifting in China. And Trumpito had to get them motherfuckers out of jail. Yes, that was the Jello saga. It ain't just one, it's something about these kids at UCLA. So, hey, man, you know, like you said, ninjas go ninja. And if they go to UCLA, them ninjas are klepto.
That's a real ninja, them, ain't it? No, that's facts though. I ain't it in China where if you get caught stealing, they can chop your hands off, something like that.
They was in trouble. They was in trouble, and it's just crazy to me that about 7 years later, hello, you go to UCLA and something gets stolen. So you know, hey, but as you said, future players that from Colorado, from USC, from Oregon, when you go play in the Rose Bowl. What do they put on the outside of recreational centers? Please do not bring your belongings inside of this establishment because someone might steal it. We do not have control over these ninjas. That in here. They be kicking it. Yeah. So that's your out of bounds. That's your on this day in sports. Hope you learned something and hope you don't steal because stealing is for bands. And if you don't know what bands means, well, hey, that's a bitch ass ninja. Let's get it.
All right, so
what's happening, Ghost?
Let's jump into the to what we came here to do. All right, yeah, it's Ghost in there. He's saying, "Let's go." We up in this thing. All right, Draymond chokehold, man. So last night we saw the
fall of the
Minnesota Timberwolves and the Warriors go at it, literally, not just playing basketball, but they actually went at it. And first of all, like the dream. So let me just say, like, apparently Klay Thompson of all people, the most light-skinned ninja of all, trying to be a tough guy this year, and he gets into it with said player from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And first of all, like when you see Klay Thompson trying to like buck somebody, you know, like you're a fraud. Like that's not who you ain't never fought nobody in your life. But last night he felt froggy, so he leapt. Okay. And they get into a little scuffle. And all of a sudden, you know, you got Detroit's bad boy just coming out of nowhere and grabs the tallest ninja he could find. And that is the French Rudy Gobert, who's soft as Charmin toilet paper. Charmin Ultra.
Wet,
bro.
Wet Charmin toilet paper.
Not only, and I call him soft because, you know, he's had, you know, incidents in the past where like you should have knocked little Mitchell out. You should have just knocked that fool out, but you didn't. You just let him talk all that shit. But whatever. Maybe you're just a great
teammate. not whatever. You
Donovan Mitchell. You know, he let Donovan Mitchell say all kinds of stuff about him. Well, it couldn't be me. But so anyway,
it could be a lot of
now you got him on the Timberwolves, and Charmin Ultra. I mean, he just Charmin. So Draymond goes and puts this man in a chokehold. So Russ, when you saw that, man. Give me your thoughts on that. When
I first saw, there's so many angles to this that I saw, because you know me, I saw this from a bunch of lenses. My first was Rudy y'all see the freeze frames, he immediately regretted getting in. He didn't realize what team. Like he grabbed Klay and then realized, I grabbed Klay. He's a light-skinned nigga for the Warriors. Ooh.
Oh,
Someone's coming. Someone's coming, and that someone came. You know what I'm saying? Pause. And so when Draymond had his bicep, that shit looked like a black anaconda around his neck. It looked like Rudy was really, I didn't see him screaming it, but he was thinking it. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Like, I swear to God,
No.
if you look at the picture that they took from the front of Rudy's face, it looked like in Rudy's eyes, he was like, I don't want to die tonight. And then on the other side, Cat. Come on, bro. Karl Anthony Towns, man. We don't forget that about 2 years ago, someone made you tap out. Ben Simmons. Ben
Oh
Simmons
yeah,
made
Ben
you
Simmons
tap out. You actually hit the MMA. Let it stop. And so
oh man.
you come in like you're gonna break it up. But instead, all you doing is tugging at Draymond's arm as if you realize too, like, damn, if I do something, Draymond's gonna take all this angry energy and point it in my direction. So I'm gonna let him choke out Rudy. And Anthony Edwards, he ain't give a fuck about neither of them ninjas, man. He was just in the background, like, hey man, I'm a star. Stars don't fight. Like, nah, but that whole thing was crazy.
Bruh.
And Rudy, grab your own teammate and get him out the way. Don't start a kerfuffle and then get choked. You can't get choked out like that. This man had to literally jump on top. And if someone's tall enough to where you have to go like this to get the leverage to choke them out, and they actually had a knees bent, he bent back. The veins in his neck is popping out, so you know he's trying to get loose, but he can't.
It's just trash. It's just a
bro. The only thing that's that.
There it is right there.
He looking for somebody. He said, I can't save myself.
That man is looking for help.
Bro, you are a Family Guy? That motherfucker looking for Spider-Man. He said, no, he told Peter everybody gets
Bruh.
Nigga, I need my one right now.
Look at Karl Anthony Towns. He got look at his face. Like he looking like he gonna do something.
But he doesn't.
But he ain't gonna do nothing. I just don't get it.
Sterling, that's the right face, because that's the face of frustration. He's like, oh, I want to hit this nigga. But I know if I do, he's gonna beat my ass.
You're just gonna be suspended for a couple games. It's an 82-game season.
Man, Draymond got boys scared to blindside him.
Bruh, couldn't have been me.
Oh man,
he would have caught a fade. I would have hit him with that 1-2 real quick. And look, he can't defend himself because he got Gobert in the chokehold. I would have popped him so quick.
That, you know what? Honestly, I was watching something. One of them was Gil's shit today, and that's what Kenyon Martin was like. I'm gonna get a free lick on Draymond without him being able to block it. I'm trying to black him out, and I was like, hey, it couldn't have been Trishan. It couldn't have been Kenyon. But you know what they need to do? See, because I'm gonna look on the other side of this. Because while this is hilarious, and Draymond just bullied the fuck out of an entire NBA team, that is fucking crazy. I will say this. Isaiah Stewart, this is where we need you. Isaiah Stewart for the Detroit Pistons. Tristan Thompson is not playing, but Isaiah Stewart, you want that smoke every day. I cannot wait. Hey, Draymond, you better play that game. And Isaiah, you better bring all that smoke, because I can't wait to see them two. That's what I want to see. Two basketball players that want to fight basketball players more than anything in the world. And let them go at it, because Isaiah Stewart's always trying to get it going. So, yeah, that's the one I want. Call Isaiah Stewart and, hey, Draymond, and now we all see. Jordan Poole said, I got to dodge. I ain't dealing with that shit. If your name ain't Steph, you a target.
Man, dog. You can't make this stuff up, man. That's the sad part about it, man. Like you cannot make this stuff up. You can't make it up. But here we are. He's
Dennis Rodman without all that, without the colorful hair. He's like a default Dennis Rodman. Like if you was to play 2K and that was your player archetype and you gave him no extra shit, like you didn't use an XP or no arm pads or no hair or no nothing, it'd be Draymond. What did he do? Just fuck shit up. Have you seen that video of him and all of his like flagrant fouls, kicking people in the ball, tackling people? Man, this man got knocked down, got up, and chased. Someone from the Houston Rockets chased him down full 94 feet just to tackle him. That man different.
He's the ultimate troll, man. Like he is the ultimate heel, I should say. This dude, and you know what? It's like I'm waiting for somebody to just knock this dude out. Like you beat up Jordan Poole. Like Jordan Poole is another light-skinned ninja that ain't did nothing to nobody, right? He just got a lot of mouth. You knocked him out, bro. Like I'm sick of it.
Pause real quick. I will say this though: if you talk as much as Jordan Poole talk, someone's going to punch you in the face. And watching him in Washington, I can realize why. Yeah, I can see. I can see why he got tired of him. Was like, yeah, someone just got to steal off on this motherfucker because he's wilding. He's wilding.
Yeah, he is, man. Like, when I think of like the ultimate heels, like, where I go to WWE, okay? And this dude reminds me so much. Let me see. If I had to take a guess, Roddy Piper. Draymond is Roddy Piper, bro. He just is. Like,
just a man that they just boo.
you just want to knock this fool out. I'm sick, bro. I'm sick of Draymond, dog. I hope somebody really knock him out because I'm tired of it. But anyway,
bro, he's just a wrecking ball. But until that day, he gonna be living like it ain't that day. But what you got?
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a player that would knock this dude out on the court, not in the locker room or on the street, who you taking for that? Who is gonna knock Draymond out?
Oh, James Johnson.
Oh yeah, no, ain't nobody messing with him.
James Johnson is a real motherfucking ninja, bro. Not like he's a real martial artist. Yeah,
they say them hands verified in the streets.
No, they say he could backflip and kick a basketball goal. Oh no, okay. So someone that's not MMA ready, that's a good one. That's a good one, Bangum. Because Ben Wallace is fading the fuck out of anybody. He's not doing that shit to Ben Wallace.
You gotta be a current player.
Only guy I got for you is I got Isaiah Stewart. That's the only one.
That ain't sexy enough. That ain't sexy enough.
Ain't no good teams got nobody squabbling like that.
What about old boy from Houston now?
Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. You think he square up with him?
I mean, I think it would, but like Dylan Brooks would, but I mean, I'm just saying like they would probably just be wolfing it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Like Dylan Brooks ain't small, so that would be a good back and forth. So I will give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Dylan Brooks crazy. He might have a razor blade under his tongue. I don't know what he's capable of. He's completely changed the dynamic of the Houston Rockets by just being a good motherfucker. Like he is completely. I saw a video of him just standing still, staring at something for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Now, if Jalen Green start carrying around blickies, we got a problem.
Right. Oh, he will. He just need to get consistent. He just need to get consistent on offense, and he gonna be okay. Just do not hops and blickies get you suspended. Don't do it. Because you see. The job is very important, very, very important. Because they're.
All right, so we know that
I'm tripping. Dylan Brooks was important too. My bad. Dylan Brooks was very important.
The Daryl Morey experiment did not work for James Harden. Okay, we saw James come out in the media in China talk about how bad of a person Daryl Morey is. Now, there was reports that Harden will report to camp for the Sixers. He did not do that. And lo and behold, he gets traded for a ham sandwich. I mean, basically, the trade that sent him to the Clippers was nothing. And I think the league as a whole is starting to kind of understand that once you trade for James Harden, you're not profiting much. You're giving away young talent and assets for a guy.
I'll say it.
Go ahead.
I'll say what you want to say.
Go ahead.
If you trade for James Harden, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
As I loosely quote the Mavs broadcaster, bruh, and Sterling, you just went over it. So, and I'll loosely quote him. My guy, you started out in OKC. And you had KD and Russell Westbrook, and no one's blaming you for what happened, but you failed to make it hot in the finals when you came in those games, and it did cost them the championship because KD, I believe, averaged like 30 or 35. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Then you get traded to Houston, which when you were at Houston, you became one of the best basketball players on the planet. So much so that Daryl Morey signed you to all this mega money contracts. They switched around practices so that you could get your clubbing and strip clubbing in. You were known world renowned for being the only basketball player that we've seen in the past freaking like 10, 15 years, probably since Allen Iverson, that could get buckets like that and party like that. So you were loved and revered, but you never worked as hard as the hardest worker in your league. So don't get that confused, because a lot of them try to say, don't say I didn't work hard, I'm maybe a player. No, you didn't work as hard as the hardest working guy in your league that was going to get championships. So you didn't work as hard as Steph Curry. You didn't work as hard as LeBron James. You weren't working as hard as Kawhi Leonard. And that's why you failed to meet that, to get over that hump. And because you can't get over the hump, you want to blame everybody else. You had chances, like I said, you was in Houston. Then you got to go to Brooklyn. You got KD twice. Motherfucker, you got KD twice. Who gets KD twice? Steph Curry got the motherfucker one time and won motherfucker, 2 ships. You got him twice and didn't do shit but complain. So then you make your way to Philadelphia. You get Joel Embiid. you got Joel Embiid. You got a perfect inside out. And Tyrese Maxey, who's all of a sudden is going off, which we knew he would, because everybody was saying he was a young talent. But you got that team. That didn't work. Now you've been moved again, and the team is 0-5. And somehow we're supposed to believe that it is someone other than Jimmy motherfucking Harden. Nigga, it is you. It is you. It is nobody else but you. I wish someone, what was that movie, The Bird Box? Someone need to take James Harden, grab his eyes and open the motherfuckers up and tell him, look in the mirror. That's the problem. That's the reason why you can't get this shit done. Because, nigga, you fade. And you fade because you don't do what needs to be done to get to that next level. I don't know what it is. I'm just a podcaster. But shit, you was in the league average of 30 and got an MVP, so you know something. And you need to step up. And he never does. And he never does. And the worst thing about it is, not only did he not step up, but he seems to quit and just want to leave and check out whenever the going gets tough. So I've been out on him. Like, I can't. He's a great basketball player, but nah, bro.
It's to the point where it's ridiculous. And you know, it's kind of a running joke at this point. You know, we've been really critical of him over the past few years since we've been podcasting together. And it's the same story, and it'll continue to be the same story. I mean, you got the guy coming in talking about he needs 10 to 15 games to get up to speed, get in shape.
I hate that shit.
Like, I don't. And then, you know, you see him. They started off 0-5. Now they're 3-7 right now, and they're 5th in the Pacific Division. James Harden's average of 15 points a game, which is nowhere near what he should be averaging or what we're used to seeing him average. It's just ridiculous, man. And I don't understand why. I mean, I can see why the Clippers did it. I mean, because when you look at their roster, you got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Like, these, to me, it's like they are the grown-up version of Jordan Poole. The most unserious basketball team I've ever seen in my life.
The Clippers are. I saw a picture today that showed Kawhi. It was like during the losing stretch. I said, Kawhi looking at. Oh no, it said during this losing stretch they have lost their ability to advance out the group stage of the in-season tournament, which we can talk about in a little bit, but if you want to. But and I was like, Kawhi looking like, yes, I'm about to take a mean break. Like, I ain't about to play again till we play LeBron, till we play Jimmy Butler and the Heat. Yeah, but that team. Honestly, all the shit that I talk about Russell Westbrook, I feel sorry for him. Because he works hard every night and he tries his best to win, and this shit is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it's a shit show. And even Kawhi, but I mean, I'll give it to Kawhi. He know what he's doing, because when he step on the court, he produced. But the fact that y'all added someone that don't want to play defense, his offense is fading, and he's just not playing up to snuff. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And he wants everything to be revolving around him. He's got the Porzingis disease, except Porzingis never put on like that. But you remember in Dallas, Porzingis was like, maybe I should be the first option. He's over here like, I'm the system. No, you're not the system, bro. You are a point guard at this point. Like, spread the ball out to everybody else and get yours where you can, because you can still shoot some. But yeah, it's crazy. When you get the ball, stop dribbling. You know, catch it and shoot, bro. You ain't got to do all
Yeah,
this.
I mean
That shit's over. It's over.
you
It's
killing
that
ball
throw is on there.
movement. You're slowing down to a half court offense. I mean, where
Mm-hmm.
you got two deadly shooters. I mean, PG and Kawhi, especially Kawhi from the mid range. I mean, I think when you bring in hard and you stunt the growth of guys like Terrence Mann,
Yes.
right? Like that's the thing that I look at and I'm like, okay, like I don't know, man. Like it just, Bones Highland came out with some stuff today where they're not even going to be playing him for the foreseeable future. That's another promising point guard.
Mavericks need to call them.
Yeah. And Bones has had problems in Denver, and now he's got him in the Clippers, and he ain't even been there for a hot lick minute. So, but we'll talk about that in the near future. But
yeah,
to kind of put a button on the James Harden thing, man. The moral of the story is don't trade for him. Like, if you're trying to win a championship, don't do it. Like, just don't do it. So, I don't even know if this team. I mean, if they make the playoffs, they're going to be an 8 seed. I don't really see them having any kind of
like a play-in.
Yeah, right. So we'll see. All right, we're gonna move over to college football, man. Let's do this.
Hey.
Yeah. So
let's tackle it.
This is. I'm gonna tell you right now. Me as a football fan, like this one hurts. The Bills being bad hurts. But the Michigan football saga this year. So let before we even get to the alleged sign stealing, let's talk about what the allegations that they had Harbor on. Apparently, a few years ago during the COVID season, he got in trouble for buying a kid a cheeseburger for impermissible benefits, and he was suspended for the first 3 games of the season for that. Now, a Michigan fan will tell you it's a complete witch hunt against Jim Harbaugh, to what I believe to be somewhat true, and but hear me out.
It is.
It is, right? That part is. Okay.
That's fact. It is a witch hunt. It's a
snipe, and then so Harbaugh, being the quirky dude that he is, he kind of gave the NCAA, he gave him shit, and they didn't like that. So, it's kind of been this thing. So then this is what's going on now. So we know Michigan has been destroying the Big Ten and Ohio State for the past 2 seasons. Now, it is alleged that Ryan Day and his staff sent a investigation, a personal investigation team to kind of get dirt on Michigan. What they found was revealing. So they say that Connor Stallions, who's no longer with the team, he went to school for espionage, and he was in the military and so forth. So it's alleged that he had this scouting ring. Now, before we get into that, I will say that every team scouts and every team steals signs. But apparently, Michigan took it to an extreme. So if that is true, which these are currently still allegations, nothing's been proven, then Michigan should be penalized for whatever that is. Okay, so I will say that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they didn't do anything wrong. Now, the fact that Harbaugh didn't know about it, I think that's cap. For someone who is detail-oriented and all, that knows about his program, I would say he knew. What they're saying is that Connor Stallions went to at least 30 games scouting opponents, or he sent people. None of this was paid for by Michigan. He sent it himself. So there's this whole thing. And last week, Mr. Petiti, the Big Ten commissioner, said, you know what? I'm going to hold a little conference for all the Big Ten coaches except for Jim Harbaugh. And we're going to talk about these allegations. And that's what they did. So what happened? The mob mentality said, you got to do something with Harbaugh in Michigan. And so what happened? Guess what? On Friday at 12:30, they said, Jim Harbaugh, you're suspended for the next 3 games. You can coach during the week, but you can't come to the games. And then, and so now you see they beat Penn State, and there was a lot to be talked about. Sharon Moore crying, and it was kind of corny. It was kind of corny, but I get it.
But it was hilarious.
I get the emotion, but like to that extent, people were saying like, well, y'all act like Harbaugh died, right? And it's like, okay, but you kind of have to know like why they were so emotional. So right now it's Michigan gets everybody. So my question to you is, after that whole dialogue about Michigan. Where do you stand on the spectrum?
So I'm always the person that tries to take a look back, and I understand what they're trying to do, but I also understand that everybody still signs.
Sure.
Now, to me, it is hilarious how Connor Stallions is acting like James Bond in one of those videos when it says if someone finds you, we will deny your existence. Like he just kind of like whoop in the bushes, bye. Like I think they definitely stole signs. They definitely did it. I think a bigger problem is with the whole why can't y'all just go to walkie-talkies or radios and the helmets and things of that nature. I don't buy the whole like oh man, we can't, every school can't afford it. Fuck that. Y'all can find the money. The money's fucking there. Shador Sanders is making $4 million a year. Caleb's making like $4 million a year. The money is there to put some damn microphones so they can't steal signs. Now, to me, since we know from listening to everybody that we've heard that everybody's doing this, it's not a secret. Your signs are getting stolen if they're out there. So to me, it's one of those things that it's like they're gonna do what they have to do, but I think it's pretty much it's bullshit. Like I honestly do. Because to me personally, if you let a motherfucker infiltrate your sidelines, that's a you problem. If we have a sideline set up for my team and y'all let a motherfucker come in here and walk up and down, and no one said, which we've seen it happen at Texas A&M when there's a story about a guy that was able to get in the Texas A&M locker room by lying and saying he was a recruit. And the Mexican dude, he said he was a kicker. No lie. He was able to do that. Like, to me, it's like someone's got to be the guy that's in charge of knowing faces. Like, someone's got to be the guy. Your guy, these programs are making bukus of money. Right. And you mean to tell me you can stop people from doing all this other stuff, but you can't figure out who's on the side? They don't care. They care, but it's like they're stealing signs somewhere else. So I feel like if it's something that we all know everybody's doing it, and the way the advanced scouting was the fact that they got someone on the sideline, it seems to me that they were mad that they're like, not only is Jim Harbaugh kicking our ass in football, he's kicking our ass in cheating. Like, this is bullshit. Like, we have to do something because, like, Michigan was down. Now Michigan is up, and the hate is at an all-time high. So I really, me personally, people say, man, Russ, you don't give a fuck about rules anyways. I really don't think Michigan should have to deal with shit. I think that the suspension, though, I think it's a backfire, though, because you just suspended him for 3 games and nobody's going to do anything else. And you might have just suspended him for what they call one of the most egregious cheating penalties in the history of the sport, and he got 3 games.
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous, and it's kind of galvanized this football team to where they have this, Michigan versus everybody. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, the big test obviously will be against Ohio State next Saturday. Sorry, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So we'll see. But it's just interesting, man. Like, the NCAA is trash.
They don't have power, and so what they're doing now is it's like when you see a boxer that was on top of the world, and then it's like when Burning Forest beat Shane Mosley twice. Like, remember, Shane Mosley was the shit, right? And then like he got beat down. NIL is Burning Forest. It beat up the NCAA twice. It beat it up. It's like NCAA don't know which way's left, which way's up.
Right.
They're used to being able to enforce stupid penalties. Now they're just in the back seat, and since they're in the back seat, they're just not doing anything. And so they're leaving it up to a full conference that literally hates this guy, hates this program, and their best time in the world is when Michigan is on the bottom. And I don't think it's going to work for them, though. I do think they're going to beat Maryland. Sorry for the kiss of death, but I do think they're going to beat Maryland. I do think that they're going to beat Ohio State, and I do think they're going to be in the college football playoff, but I do think they're going to play a national championship.
Yeah, for me,
something happens, it's going to be against. But yeah,
hey, for me, we'll see. There is an injunction this Friday, which Michigan is filing a restraining order against the Big Ten. There are talks about Michigan maybe getting out of the Big Ten altogether. It is widely known, and you probably would agree with this, that the Big Ten needs Michigan more than Michigan needs the Big Ten. I mean, it's a national brand, whether you like it or not. We'll see what happens, but I do think Tony Petitti might be getting fired by the end of the season just to appease the Michigan fan base. And when you succumb to the mob mentality, I think you have to really hold everybody to the standard in which is right and fair and due process. So I don't think he did that.
And I think to piggyback off of what you were saying is, it's true for every one of these big schools. That's why the Big 12 is mad and is trying every week to cheat Texas and Oklahoma. If you ask any Texas fan, they're playing ultra aggressive. If you watch the games against Kansas State, these guys are running routes and guys are just draped, like they're just grabbing them, holding them. We know about the Oklahoma State game. We know what happened there with the blatant no call. So it's known, and the Big Ten does not like Michigan. So if they do leave, hey man, it's just going to add fuel to the fire. But I think before the Big Ten as a whole lets them leave, they will fire whoever is making them feel like they need to leave.
Yeah,
because
right.
Michigan, Ohio State is very, very, very important. Like, we're going to see a resurgence of, like, Texas and Texas A&M. Those types of rivalries are just they're very
college
important.
Football needs them. College football needs Michigan and Ohio State, right? So yeah, there's some definitely look again. I'll be the first one to tell you if Michigan is involved in wrongdoing, they should be penalized, right? If you're cheating, you should be penalized. But I think it still deserves due process. You got to get all the facts before you make a ruling. You don't do it at 12:30 on a Friday, right before or right after the team is already in flight to Penn State, and then have them in limbo. You're hurting the players, and have them in limbo to where you don't know if your head coach is going to be on the sideline on Saturday. So we'll see what happens this week in terms of the injunction that's filed against the Big Ten. And if so, if the Michigan wins this, then that suspension that they put on Jim Harbaugh will not last. He'll be able to coach Saturday, this week, and next week.
Let me ask you a question before we close out. So if you're how am I going? I'm afraid to. So what do you feel is cheating? And by that, I'd say this. Let's say me and you are about to coach a game, right? And word gets to me that, yo, Russell, Sterling has your signs, right?
Sure.
Which we know for a fact that teams find out because TCU found out last year for the playoff, which we know now that's why TCU was able to ransack them, because they changed all their signs and Michigan did not know, which is going to speak to my point. So if I know that you have, if I know that you have my signs and I look at my assistant and say, well, shit, I got Sterling signs. At what point are we cheating? You know what I'm saying? Because from what we know, from what people are saying is, that's the situation in the Big Ten. Penn State, you got the signs too. Ohio State, you got the signs too. So if everybody's stealing signs and everybody's got people's signs, then at what point is it not cheating and it's just survival of the fittest? Because if everybody's cheating, which from what they're telling us, everybody everybody's not one, not two, not three, the whole. They're saying like when they asked Nick Saban about it, he leaned back with a smirk on his face, like, no, like everybody in college football is.
Let me tell you this.
Allegedly. So like
it's come out now that Rutgers, who Greg Schiano is the head coach at Rutgers, who used to be at Ohio State and Ryan Day, they gave Purdue in the Big Ten title game Michigan signs. Like, I don't see what the all this crazy complaining is about when they're all doing it.
It's because they don't want Michigan to be where Michigan is at. They don't want, man. I'm just witnessing it firsthand. They don't want Oklahoma to get out this motherfucker with a Big 12 chip. They don't want Texas to get out. Don't be surprised if the next weekend somehow magically Texas loses a game. Don't be, and I'm not even gonna hate on them and say like it's y'all's fault. Like don't be surprised. Like,
it's crazy.
It's the way that like these conferences are having beefs with certain teams. The Michigan thing is just insane. Like everybody's doing it. Like everybody is doing it. If everybody's doing it and nobody's stopping it, then why the fuck are y'all complaining? Because I'm whooping y'all ass. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes zero sense to me. So I'm really on the side of let them serve a suspension. Let it go away. I really think that Michigan should fight it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they got to do, like it makes no sense because if they have all this evidence that what Rutgers did, what other Big Ten schools are doing, it just nah, man. I'm not with the whole you cheated better than me, so I'm gonna tell. That's bitch shit. I'm sorry for my language.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of weak.
Yeah, that's weak as fuck. That's weak as fuck. If we're both cheating, then fuck it. Someone's got to win, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, the NCAA, they need to just change their rules about sign stealing or access to. I mean, because anybody can do it. You and I can go to these games and do it and send it to whatever team we want to.
What's to stop you, a hardcore Michigan fan, to say I'm going to spend my hard-earned money to go to all these games? We both like Prime. We're just going to go to a bunch of Pac-12 games, or no, we're going to go to. They're in the Big 12 next year, so we're just going to go a bunch of Big 12 games and check out all these teams, and look at all this tape. We're going to send it to Dion.
Yeah,
anonymously.
It's trash, dog. I mean, you know, they got to do better, man. They got to do better. But hey, let's move on to the Heisman favorites. So right now, I'm gonna tell you the odds of the Heisman favorites right now, and you tell me who you think has a really good shot. So right now, this is as of this week. Bo Nix currently minus 110 odds to win the Heisman. Michael Penix Jr. is behind him. He's at plus 370. LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels is at plus 370. Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison is at plus 600. And then you got Carson Beck, Georgia, plus 3,500. Jalen Milroe, plus 5,000. Jordan Travis, plus 6,000. JJ McCarthy, plus 12,000, which is crazy. And Oklahoma quarterback Dylan Gabriel at 15,000. So of those names, who do you think is going to win the Heisman?
I think Michael Penix is going to win the Heisman. Michael Penix Jr. So I think he's going to win the Heisman. From watching all these guys this year, he has been the one that has impressed me most in terms of what we look for in a Heisman candidate. Second to him is probably Marvin Harrison, just the way he goes about his job. Not really fucking with Bo Nix, but nothing against him personally. Just not really fucking with him. I will say I think that the fact that JJ McCarthy is really low is a travesty. Jaden Daniels, I liked him since he was at Arizona State. And I just think he's just in a bad situation where his team has already lost, and so he's not going to be able to win it. But I think out the group, he's probably having the best season. And there was someone else who was minus 6,000. Was it 6,000?
It's Jordan Travis.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't like him, but he's the quarterback. That's
great game this past week. Great game.
Yes, beat Miami. Sorry, Ghost. Beat Miami. He's been whooping ass the entire season. He's put Miami back on the map. So I'm not really understanding why he's not getting as much love as I think he should. But hey, man, you know, I think Jordan Travis should be higher up there. His team is doing really, really well. He's playing good football.
Yeah. If I had to pick, man, you know, and again, you got to let it all play out. This list, the ranking of this list changes week to week, right? And
yeah,
like let's start with a process of elimination. Let's go with who's not going to win. Okay, LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels is not going to win, even though he's balling out. Louisiana State's kind of out of the running, so he's not going to win.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe not going to win.
Not going to win.
Okay. Dylan Gabriel not going to win.
No. Fuck no. Sorry.
No. So you're really looking at Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Marvin Harrison, and JJ McCarthy. If you ask me,
I don't
even think Carson Beck. You could throw him in there, but really, like he really hasn't done too much. I mean, he's decent. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think those are I think because of, you know, the reason why JJ is down on the list because he was 7 of 8 last week. Like they ran the ball 32 straight times in the second half.
Yeah.
And it's not because he can't throw the ball. Like he dude's going to be. No, he didn't get hurt. No, it was. No, he was fine. So let me tell you what happened. So the reason why they ran the ball so much is because Penn State has one of the best defenses in the country, and their corners are lanky and fast and physical. And so they thought Michigan doesn't have great receivers. They got 2 good tight ends and they got a decent wide receiver.
Yeah.
And the rest of the guys are just young. They're freshmen and sophomore, right? So
Yeah.
they ran the ball because they said, hey, we got the best offensive line in the country. We're just gonna line up and just run all over you. And that's what they did. We're gonna control the game. Harbaugh's not here. We're gonna get up out of here with a dub, which is gonna run the ball down your throat, and you're just gonna have to stop us because we know that your quarterback and your offensive scheme ain't good enough. And that's what they did. So they changed who they were, and they said, we're just gonna run the football. So people are like, well, JJ, it's like, dude, if you watch Michigan all season, you know that JJ makes big boy throws, runs an NFL offense every single week. So it's like, but again, so I think once he comes out and he has 300 yards against Maryland, and everything's going to be fine. But
going to change.
I think it's going to come down to that Michigan-Ohio State game with Marvin Harrison Jr. facing off against JJ McCarthy, and I think Oregon and Washington, which they already played. Michael Penix, did they already play? Was it Washington?
Washington won.
Yeah, Washington won that
awesome game.
What a game!
That's why I was saying the world. Parts of the world will push Pitt. Bo Nix is going to be pushed as the favorite, he's going to be put in the forefront. But I think that as we watch Washington finish out, if Washington can finish out, win the Pac-12, I don't think there's anything.
He gets my vote. Michael Penix gets my vote.
I don't think anything. Now, here's a caveat to that: if Ohio State beats Michigan, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Don't say that. Because it ain't happening. Don't you even say it.
I'm just saying.
Don't you come on the Hesi and say that. Don't even start. Don't even start because it ain't happening.
I ain't wishing evil on you. I'm just trying to tell you what they gonna do if it happens. But if it wasn't if, we'd all be drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. That's facts. All right. So as we wrap that up, let's go ahead and jump into either or segment for this week.
All right. So the either or, I wanted to throw it back. It's been one. I think we might have done this one before, but I just want to bring it back. What's up, J Rail? I want to bring it back to the people. I want to see what all y'all think. Get in your comment section, and I want y'all to let me know either or Aaron Donald or J.J. Watt. I got to bring this one back because these are the 2 best defensive ends that we probably ever seen playing. And as you look back on both of them, we got games where J.J. Watt didn't win a Super Bowl, but we've got one of the most spectacular games you have ever fucking seen in your life where the man recorded like an interception, a fumble recovery, a touchdown. He did everything he can, but he was playing with like a third-string quarterback, so his team couldn't get it done. And so what happened in Chris? So I wanted to bring this one back. This is one of my favorite ones to debate about it. Who you got? Now, remember, folks, this has nothing to do with the team that they're on or that they play for. This is the player themselves. This is you got a draft pick, and guess what? The guy you pick is going to be on your team. The guy you don't pick, you're going to have to play them in the championship game. So who you got, J.J. Watts or Aaron Donald? You're muted.
First of all, I'm not picking Captain America, J.J. Watt. I ain't doing it. I can't do it.
Oh.
I can't stand J.J. Watt.
I don't think Chris fucking with that. We got a J.J. Watt already in the comments.
I can't stand J.J. Watt. I cannot stand that dude, man. I'm going Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, to me, is the best defensive football player of my generation. He is the best defensive football player in my generation.
Bro, we grew up with Ray Lewis.
Better than Ray Lewis, dog. Aaron Donald is better than Ray Lewis. Dominance-wise, bro, I'm telling you, man. Aaron Donald is he.
All right, that's you opening up a whole nother.
Listen, it's hard to compare them. It's hard to compare them because they play two opposite positions, as we know. But man, like here's why I say this is because
Warren Sapp.
Ray Lewis had a squad around him, bro. Ed Reed, Hall of Fame safety, Tony Saragusa, and Haloti Nada. They had dudes all around Ray. I'm not taking nothing from Ray. Ray is the best linebacker, middle linebacker that I've seen in my generation. I think Patrick Willis was really good too. Luke Kuechly I throw in there, but Ray Lewis is better than them. Okay, so Aaron Donald to me, he ain't have all that, especially on defensive line. He ain't have all that. They tried to put pieces around him and so forth. He had Von Miller for a half a season. He had, your boy Jalen Ramsey for a couple seasons, right? But it's all Aaron Donald, bro.
But to answer Chris in the chat, like that's why I always say let's look at this as if you don't have to deal with. They're both on great.
They're both
squads.
great.
Let's not take because you do take it in consideration. But when I say when you pick, they're both on great squads. It's just the player itself. Everybody else is nameless gray faces. This one I've gone back and forth from year to year. Okay. I gotta go with Aaron Donald by
a slight edge, not like he's just way better than JJ.
And years ago, I used to say it was in terms of like gaming and shit. Like, oh, if Aaron Donald's a 99, JJ's a 95. Nah, if Aaron Donald's a 99, then JJ Watts is a 98. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I take him barely, and the only reason why, only reason why is because even though JJ was as dominant, I've never seen Brian Urlacher was not as good as Ray Lewis. Stop that. The only reason why I don't have JJ Watt there is just because and I'm just gonna admit it, the way that Aaron Donald finished it speaks numbers, speaks loud. Like it speaks loud to me. The fact that that moment when he's in the Super Bowl and people started pushing him, and he was like, "I'm getting this shit done." Like Aaron Donald was like, "I'm getting this shit done," and now that's not to say that JJ could not have get it done because we could talk about the turmoil that the Texans had in the playoffs, but I got to take Aaron Donald. I feel like if I don't take him, I'm disrespecting.
No, and that's fair. That's fair. I mean, this is a great debate. Like, you can't go wrong with either one of these players. But and JJ Watt is a dog. Like this, let's keep it 100, keep it a buck here. But for my money, if I had to get one player between the two to just dominate the game from start to finish, it's Aaron Donald, and he does it with less, in my opinion. I think you have to double and triple team Aaron Donald all the time. You got to double team JJ Watt. Now JJ Watt's a threat on the edge as well, and Aaron Donald can get it at defensive end.
Bro, they're like both just
wrecking balls. Problem. Yeah, they're just really good players, and I hate even picking between the two. But for my money, I'm gonna go with Aaron Donald.
It's really like, hey, you want some whiskey or you want some tequila?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it's one of those. They both gonna get you drunk as fuck, and you gonna have a good time, but make a choice. Yeah. With that being said, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, make your choice. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the comments if we're crazy, we're nuts. Put that shit in the comments and let us know and let the people know around you and share that shit, and we'll go ahead and continue on. But you know what it is. That's the either or. Yo, my nigga Boogie not here, but I'm going to hit it one more time for the man. Bam. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, hey, real shit don't die. But what we got next?
All right, so as we close out the show, let's give a shout out to CJ Stroud, man. The dude is
please.
Yeah, hey, CJ Stroud is balling out. And you know what? You know what's funny, Russ?
What's up?
We didn't predict that CJ Stroud would be this good, but we did say that CJ Stroud was the best quarterback coming out in this class. I just want to put that out there.
And we both even admitted, even though he's not our favorite, we said that fucking ball. And I say this all the time to one of my homies, like that Georgia game was not just a motherfucking game. That man showed us a lot, and it is coming through. So I'm glad that you brought up CJ because, like, y'all know it's coming at the end of the season. We do this draft shit, and these two guys right here know about the shit. We know about what's going to be, who's going to be good, because everybody we predicted is pretty much put the fuck on. So
yeah,
CJ was one of them. Oh,
CJ Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta's another one. We told y'all about Sam Laporta before he popped off. So yeah, I mean, but you know, we'll get into the draft coverage as we
I believe we told him about A-Chain.
Devon A-Chain. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Dawson Kincaid.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? What's his name? Oh, buddy's son that played for Pittsburgh, the DB.
Joey Porter Jr.
Joey Porter Jr. He was on our top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So a lot of these guys pop up in our draft predictions, but I will say this one thing I love about CJ Stroud, and my homies have heard me say this. You'll hear me say this multiple times. If you're on my Twitter, you've seen this. If you're on my Instagram, you've seen me say this. Some motherfuckers are able to ice skate uphill, and that's okay. CJ is able to get it out the mud. He does it the hard way and does not care, and that is a dangerous mofo. Some people say the most dangerous motherfuckers in the world are the people that could just look at a problem and say, shit, it is what it is. Let's go. And CJ is that. He looks at what was it, against Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay scored. Baker did his job. Tampa Bay scored. CJ said, it is what it is, bro. We ain't got no kicker. We ain't got nothing. I'm going to get a touchdown. Did that shit last week. Did that shit.
Yeah. No, CJ Stroud right now has 15 touchdowns compared to 2 interceptions. He's got like 2,200 yards passing for a rookie with in Houston with not much around him. That's pretty damn good.
That's awesome.
And a rookie head coach. So like that, I mean, that to me says you guys got a dog for a quarterback. So
a leader.
Yeah. So hey, if you're a Houston Texans fan, man, you gotta be like, you would rather have that over Deshaun Watson any day. 2,600, my bad.
You preaching to the choir. You see the horns in the chat. You see the horns.
Yeah. Hey. Look. He like 26, 20. Like, okay, all right, I was 400
zero in.
Most of my stats be coming off the dome, and I wasn't that far off.
But that's why we fuck with our people. You fuck with the Hesi podcast. You got even our fans know what the fuck we talking about, man. So come rap with us, dog. We in this bitch.
So yeah, shout out to CJ Stroud, man. He's looking the part. Shout out to the Houston Texans, man. That's pretty dope. That's a pretty good story they got going on down there.
Surprise. So it's a surprise to the season. Very, very, very dope.
So we got a few minutes before we end. But let's talk about the Patriots. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say before we shit on the Patriots, because that's all I can do for them right now. Even though they say that Bill Belichick's out there getting that box. Do you think Cleveland is cursed? I know that wasn't on here, but I really wanted to ask you, bro. Do you think Cleveland is cursed because peep this, bro? Like they went through all those quarterbacks, then they draft one, right? Don't ever put MVP Prescott in here and jinx us again, Ghost. But so they get all those quarterbacks. None of them work. They go 0-16. They get a guy that's finally able to take them to the playoffs, erase all that loss, and beat the Steelers. Retire Ben Roethlisberger, and then he has maybe a 1.5 bad seasons, depending on how you feel about Baker. They get rid of him. Then they get Deshaun Watson, who is the second best quarterback compared to only Patrick Mahomes when he was at the height of his power. And this motherfucker's shoulder turns to gravel and his ankle breaks in the middle of the season. And he wins you again. To add all the heartbreak to the loss, he wins you a game. I don't know, Houston Texans fans like, yes, because we need that pick. But all that to have another quarterback and he put on and he's out.
I mean, you call it curse, you can call it bad management, you could call it fool's gold. I mean, they never had they should have never been in the running for Deshaun Watson as a quarterback anyways. When a quarterback misses almost 2.5, 3 years and you expect him to come back and be who he once was, I think they failed to read the room. They failed to read the room and the type of person that Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying he's a bad person per se. He did some stuff that he probably would love to have back, right? Yeah, Josh Dobbs is great. But
let's touch on that before we close, though. We got to.
Yeah, we'll hit that before we close. But they should have never put their fans or their franchise in that position to begin with. And then on top of that, you gave him a $258 million fully guaranteed contract, which wasn't done in the league. So you asked for it, man. You asked for it. Like you really, honestly, if you really was trying to get a quarterback, you should have drafted another guy. You probably should have held on to Baker maybe a little longer, even though I'm not a big fan of Baker, but Baker wasn't the problem in Cleveland. It's the fact that you continually have new GM, new coach. I mean, it's just same musical chairs over and over and over. No structure, right? Yeah. They have a spirit of losing. Now that's kind of changed this year. We'll see what happens, but they don't have their head signal caller. So I mean, I really don't think they'll be able to go far in the playoffs. I mean, that defense is pretty damn good, but
they're gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you got to think, yeah, dude, we're cursed. Like it's not a far fetched idea.
Oh, I think they are. I think they are. I most definitely think they're cursed. All right, you want to tackle the Patriots and McDaniels, or you want to go with Josh Dobbs?
Josh Dobbs is a better story. I mean,
Josh Dobbs the fucking GOAT, dog.
He is,
like,
man.
I'm sorry. I know that people are like, damn, that nigga's voice hyped up because god damn it, Josh Dobbs is the only nigga you gonna see that's gonna hop in there and say, yo, this shit is fucking easy. What's your name? All right, I don't know the route you're gonna run. I don't know the route you're going to run. I don't know the route you're going to run, but I'm going to call the play so that you know the route you're going to run. Then the coach is going to tell me. They say the coach, he called a play. The coach is going to tell him, all right, this guy's running the post. This guy's going in. This guy's doing the wheel. This guy's doing it. And Josh Dobbs don't even know your name, but he's throwing touchdowns. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs looks at them and says, hey, man, this shit's easy when I do math to get people to the moon. Josh Dobbs is a new American hero as far as I'm concerned. I like he didn't know where the locker room was, Sterling. He didn't know where his locker room was, and he was at home. He was at home.
Hey, and Josh Dobbs, man, that dude is like he's like a scientist. Like he's so smart.
Astrophysicist.
He's an astrophysicist. Dude is ridiculously smart. He'll always have a job as a quarterback in the National Football League, whether he's starting or he's a backup quarterback, just because he's so damn intelligent. But what NFL teams, I mean, part of me feel like they'd be doing him wrong. I mean, I feel like you should give him a permanent home or a permanent opportunity to prove himself in an offense. But hey, man, like we all about, giving credit where credit is due, and for him to play the hardest position in sports, which is the quarterback position, and you come in on a Wednesday and you lead a team to a win and you didn't even think you was playing, like, bro, that tells me, like, that just shows you how smart the dude is.
Bro, they said he was doing shit like saying, Hut, look, like we already talked about how he called the play. He said, Hut, he throw a touchdown, and he like, yeah, good catch, 81. He look at his lineman and say, man, what's 81's name? Oh, good catch, Addison.
Yeah.
What's your name? 79. All right, William. Yeah, we a team now. Like he's literally like there's never been a quarterback that has been able to do this.
Not like that. Yeah.
We can't implement a system. This man done played for like 4 teams in the past 3 years and is wrecked on all of them.
Yeah. No, man. Josh Dobbs he's incredible, man. Like I want to see. It's a great story. Unfortunately, like if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, like you want to win, I get it, but man, you really with Kirk Cousins' injury, you had an opportunity to like really like put yourself into the future to get Caleb or another one of these quarterbacks that's coming out, and now you got Josh Dobbs in there playing and he's winning games. It's like, man, like you look at the defense side of the ball for the Vikings and it's depleted. They need help. But your boys over there winning games, and so
if Josh Dobbs can continue this, though, if you're the Vikings, do you not say, not to screw Josh Dobbs because I hope he gets a check, but his check ain't gonna be what they have to pay Kirk Cousins. So if you're the Vikings, do you not say like, yo, Kirk, go over there, do what you got to do because they might like that, but we're gonna stick with Josh Dobbs and get some defensive players and see, because you got like the guy has shown the brain matters. Pause. But he's smart.
No, I get you.
Smart. Yeah, he's smart. He's smart as hell. It's working. So if I'm the Vikings, shit, I'm keeping Josh Dobbs, and we gonna dib and dive.
All right, so as we close the show, man. This has been a great opportunity to get back. This is the Hesi podcast, right here on YouTube. As we figure out, we're in the infant stages of figuring all this out. You guys know our socials, but we're going to be coming to you on different platforms, mainly YouTube, but we will be venturing into podcast form. So, whether you are listening to this show at home or on the go, you'll be able to listen to the Hesi podcast wherever you get your podcast. But right now we're on YouTube. By next week, we'll have it all sorted out. But my dog, Russ.
Hey, you're like, like you said, we're going to let y'all know shit, man. Real shit don't die. We're going to be here. Go be great. All that good noise, and man, somebody's gonna say it. So shit, why not the Hesi?
Hey man, all right. With the Hesi podcast, we signing off, man. We up out of here.